Welcome to I Love Gay today. And our guest this morning is the Senior Vice President of Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion for Visit for Lauderdale. His name is Richard Gray. Hello, Richard. How are you?
Hello, Aaron. How are you? Now
Well,
you say I love gay today. I love being gay every day. How about
we
that?
love gay every day. We love to be gays every day. We can't stop that.
It's a great part about being gay.
Yes, and for that reason, I like to talk to you about Visit for Lauderdale because you are about that subject and promote the LGBT plus community to the world. Tell me more about that.
Well, I do. And we are one of the early pioneers in this platform as a destination. We actually launched our first campaign 25 years ago. So we were one of the very first tourist boards in the United States to get their feet wet, if you like, in this
Mhm.
platform. So we started off in a very gentle way. We launched a campaign called Immerse Yourself, which we nicknamed Bubble Boy, which was actually based on the Olympic diving gold medalist, Greg
Mhm.
Louganis, who used to train here in Fort Lauderdale. And so I used that idea of Greg Louganis and diving as an appeal to bring gay travelers to Greater Fort Lauderdale. So it's been a remarkable journey, and I'm British, as you can maybe tell. I don't think I have an American twang, and I don't intend to have an American twang. But I love Fort Lauderdale, and Fort Lauderdale is my home, and I'm very proud to live here, and I'm proud to be an ambassador and
Mhm.
speak out um, about this extraordinary destination in a state that has become more and more conservative over the years. Um, and Greater Fort Lauderdale is what I would call this oasis. Um, and we have a tremendously large resident LGBT plus community. We have hundreds of gay owned and operated businesses. We're a destination where everybody feels welcome, not just the LGBT plus community, but all travelers, irrespective of the color of their skin or their religion, who they love, how they identify. You know, People are comfortable. Uh,
Mhm.
I think that's very important.
So
In
you
terms of
you
travel.
feel that after 25 years since the first time that you released the first campaign, there is we are gathering some all this equality around Fort Lauderdale.
Yes, this is a progressive destination, and we're one of the counties that have led the way in the state for equality for the LGBT plus community, especially the trans community, which is obviously, you know, had ups and downs here, not just here in Florida, but of course,
Mhm.
in the whole United States, across the world, really.
That reminds me, actually, I'm talking about campaigns because I do remember that you were promoting last year a really amazing campaign. The pictures were absolutely fabulous for last year. Unfortunately, we had to cancel a lot of the destinations. So, talking about the campaign and what is the movement for the future after the borders are start opening, people is getting more vaccines, so the travelers are gonna come back in big masses.
Well, we did. We launched what I would call a historic LGBT campaign called Celebrate You. And I really wanted to highlight you because as I said earlier, we've evolved. And our community is gay, it's lesbian, it's trans, it's non-binary, it's disabled, and it's intersex. I mean, so I really wanted to emphasize you, and I wanted to speak to everybody because I think it's important to speak to everybody, so many destinations don't speak to everybody. And the imagery that they use tends not to reflect the personality of that destination. So I picked models that were local, real, authentic people. And it was a campaign that included a straight disabled man from Peru who lives here in Greater Fort Lauderdale, Diego, incredible guy. It included a Black lesbian. It included a transgender woman who performs drag and works for a transgender services. It included a gay Black man, and it included a British white gay man, me. By chance, I had to shoot because one of the models was ill, and it included this wonderful, wonderful non-binary person. So it had all flavors, and it really spoke to you. And in addition to all that inclusion, I decided that it was time to add Black and brown to the Pride colors. It was a rough year listening to what was going on in the United States with police violence, etc., within the Black community. And I felt I needed to speak out for Black and brown people. And I feel it was right to add Black and brown to the Pride colors. I know it can be a conversation that some people agree with and some people don't agree with. We're in the process of actually adding the trans colors too. So we were the first destination to do that, add Black and brown. And I noticed that other destinations are now beginning to follow suit. So what we did during the pandemic, obviously our business went from a very strong 2019 to basically 5% occupancy. But Florida was one of the states that opened up early. We opened up maybe a little bit too early, some people would say, but nevertheless, the Governor DeSantis wanted the state to open, and we opened. And the hotels went from 5% to 80% occupancy. We adhered to the CDC guidelines. We implemented a Safe, Clean and Pledge program. All our hotels, restaurants, attractions participated in. And we were very conscious of social distancing, etc. And really, we did extraordinarily well. Some of the hotels were running 100% occupancy at the weekends, because we didn't realize that in this pandemic that other states like California, Arizona, and whatever would be shut down, and that we would garner so many travelers from those states. So we did exceptionally well. But during that time, we had extra time. Thanks to our CEO, we rebranded. When you work for a government agency, the Greater Fort Lauderdale Convention Visitors Bureau is the tourism division. And when you say Greater Fort Lauderdale CVB or Convention Visitors Bureau, most people have no idea what you're talking about or where you work or anything like that. Or they say CVB or BCB and whatever. So we rebranded to Visit Lauderdale. We created a new logo that highlighted our wave wall and the sun and the ocean. Our biggest attraction as to why travelers come visit here from all over the world. And then we added a new tagline that really speaks about the destination. And the tagline that we added is everyone under the sun. And I just love the word everyone, because that's who we speak to. And that's who we've consistently spoken to for 25 years, is we've spoken to everybody, especially the trans community. We've really pushed the envelope with regard to trans. So for our mainstream program to evolve into using the word everyone, I think speaks volumes about this destination that really inclusion and diversity is very, very much an integral part of the DNA of the residents that live here in Greater Fort Lauderdale. I mean, we are open, a warm and welcoming destination. And we're not and we're safe. We're exceptionally safe. We're a destination where trans travelers can come here and feel safe. And we know the importance of being safe. So we're
And
very
let me tell you one thing, and this is something that people has to remember. And I love the the phrase that everybody under the sun, or because everybody's the same under the sun. That's what people has to understand. That doesn't matter the color of the skin and or the nationality where they coming. We have to have an inclusion, not just as LGBT plus, but everybody should be welcome. And I hope this is actually going farther from Fort Lauderdale. And like probably you agree with me that we hope that other parts of the world start copying this campaign, because I think in general around the world, we have to fight for racism in general.
Yes, I 101% agree with you. Both you and I have big platforms, but I always speak out to everybody when I'm speaking, and everybody, it doesn't matter how big your platform is, you must speak out, especially now, more so than ever. I mean, I think the United States of America is in a very fragile position at the moment with regard to equality and with regard to equity. So this is a critical time for us to speak out to our platforms, to better educate our allies. We need our allies. We need them as much as we do LGBT plus people, of course, but we especially need our allies, and we need corporate America, because it is the power of corporate America, when it's correctly educated about the importance of inclusion, about the importance of diversity, and that these corporations, if they have an inclusive and diverse workforce, those corporations tend to have a much, much happier workforce. And at the end of the day, they tend to be more profitable. And at the end of the day, that is obviously very important for these corporations. But corporations want all their employees to want to go to work. And when they're in work, they want them to feel comfortable. They want them to feel that they're working in a safe environment, that they're not victimized or bullied, and that also they're treated fairly. I think you've got to treat everybody fairly. And, that could be from a respect point of view, but also from a financial remuneration point of view, is that I think equity is absolutely critical.
Excellent. Yes, you are absolutely right. Tell me, well, let me tell you one thing, because I was in Fort Lauderdale a few weeks ago, and I felt welcome. It's a great area, it's a great city in the United States. I see that other states has to actually to start doing the same. That's why I'm coming back very soon.
Glad you're coming back.
Yes, I cannot live without Fort Lauderdale. I need some
Good.
sun.
I'm glad you've become one of our ambassadors, Aaron. So
Thank you so
I'm
much.
proud to have you as an ambassador all the way from Peru.
And let me tell you, I'm going to copy some of the ideas to bring back to my own country, because we live for tourism, and we have to make these environments friendly for everybody. And sometimes our countries in Latin America forget that we are an important, not only market, but they have to actually to take care of all their travelers and not just one small group.
Yes, I agree. I think too, another push of mine that I would like to talk about is disabled people. Disabled people travel, and disabled people, very much like trans people, have been forgotten about. And in the Celebrate You campaign, I was really proud, to have this extraordinary disabled man in our campaign. And that's something that we want to push more. Is I get bored looking at glossy magazines, travel magazines
Mm-hmm.
that have, you know, flawless women, you know, perfect men with perfect
Mm-hmm.
teeth and
Perfect
perfect
hair.
hands, and you know, we want real people.
Mm-hmm.
When have you looked at a magazine, say like Condé Nast, and seen an ad that included somebody that was disabled?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I've never seen one.
You're
Um,
absolutely right.
and I think, you know, we've got to start speaking to everybody. And I think destinations are extraordinarily powerful because, you know, we are primarily marketeers. My role really is to increase visitation into Broward County, into Greater Fort Lauderdale, and fill up the hotels. And in turn, those tourists will spend money, whether it be in our restaurants, whether it be in our, you know, attractions, whatever. Going to a shoe shop, going to have
Mm-hmm.
their shoes repaired, going to the dry cleaners, going to a doctor. I mean, tourism brings in an incredible amount of money. I mean, LGBT tourism brings in close to $1 billion into Greater Fort Lauderdale. And that number certainly catches all of our politicians' attention. And they realize the importance of not only from a human rights standpoint, is it right to be equal and to treat everybody fairly, but at the end of the day, you know, these people travel and they make an important financial economic impact to that destination.
So people in South America, not only Peru, listen, tourism can save your economy, but well, we know what happened outside some other parts of the world. Richard, thank you so much for this time. I would love to hear from you what you could tell entrepreneurs out there, especially the people in Fort Lauderdale, how they can contact you, how can contact Visit Fort Lauderdale.
Um, our web address is
Mm-hmm.
visitlauderdale.org. And we have a great new video that you can see. And then you can reach me at Richard Gray, Gray, at broward.org. And I'm always happy to share my thoughts, my direction, where tourism is going, just really to share all the knowledge. I've been in this platform since 1991. So my hair is not completely gray, a little bit of gray here. So it's not all gray, like my name. But you can reach me at Richard Gray, and it's spelled the English way, which is Gray at broward.org. And I'm always happy, as I said, to share. I think it's important for us to share with each other and not be competitive, because I think that sharing sends the right message to consumers, to travelers, that you are more open and welcoming too. So I think it says a lot about who you are.
Thank you so much, Richard. And for sure, I feel included in Fort Lauderdale. And I'm coming back very soon. And we are going to have some chat and some donuts too.
Donuts. Oh my God. That you're talking about my weakness. Jam donuts. I don't say jelly like Americans, but I say jam. Jam donuts. They're my favorite. I love them.
Now I have it in mind.
I'm going to hold you to a jam donut.
Thank you so much, Richard. Have a great day.
Take care, Aaron. And I do love gay.
We love gay.
Bye.
Bye.